Dr. Dariga?
Yes,
let us move to next topic.
Sure.
Well, you have a new president,
yes.
and Mr. Bravo, he was the ex-general.
Yes.
And he has a very strong leadership and charisma.
Yes.
And I learned he recently unveiled his vision, which is called the Asta Sita vision. Asta Sita means 8 goals,
right.
And is the priority programs.
Yes.
And even though he emphasized, and he's known to play an active role in foreign relations and defense.
Yes.
Looking at his priority programs, I've got the impression that he put higher priority on domestic issues,
yes.
like free meal program and the healthcare,
yes.
and education,
yes.
and the housing programs,
yes.
and so on. So how do you see the future of Bravo administration's policy in the future?
Yes.
Particularly in light of the potential area of cooperation between Indonesia and Korean business?
Yes. It's a really big topic for me.
So you are free to give us very broad and simple picture.
Yes. Certainly, I should underline that my comment, my view, and my perspective as an Indonesian who live overseas.
Yeah.
So in that sense, then I'm observing what's going on in the country from afar, not in Jakarta. So this is different, right? So yes, we are excited because we knew our president. And then in the general view, I have a positive feeling, and also I see in terms of economic growth, for example, and also politics, that in a positive gesture. Right. Of course, why? First, we talk about the political stability. You have more experience than how to say that. How he
we
embraced
shared many things in our recent history.
Right. So how he embraced all the political party except only one or two to guarantee the political stability, because in that context, almost similar would be what happened under the previous administration, Mr. Jokowi. So I think this is the foundation if we talk anything related to what going to be happen in Indonesia, particularly with the economy. Because first is political stability, which is now he tried to secure. And the second one, he also, in my sense, if we can see the cabinet, now the cabinet posture, I bet there are 17 or 16 ministers from the previous administration now belong to.
Yeah.
So what we can infer from that, the situation means there's no much time no thing probably there are no, but it means that there may be some continuity from the previous administration and to the next one, at least for the next 5 years. Of course, we have some concern with the numbers of ministers, the cabinet. There's going to be some concern related to how to coordinate, because there are many ministry, department, which is they don't even have an office now. So this is going to be an issue. But interesting thing, because he, as you mentioned, pointed out, he's a general. And naturally, you see, in the last 3 days, if you observe how he lead, it already shows that he's a general. And then what he do, that he called all the minister to go to the camp. Did you know about that one?
Yes, I heard.
Yeah.
He will bring all members.
Yeah, it's the military academy. Yeah.
To have a workshop.
So this is interesting. Never happened in history of the Indonesian how they do. So the way he approached his leadership will be something distinguished from the previous one. And then you see how the way he talk and the way how it brings something, a passion that we have. And then I think that could be something influence a lot, because we have to see the praises, the man behind the gun, it's everything. Of course, we can talk many other programs, but the man behind the gun is really, really determined. So for that issue, as a leader, as the new president, we can see there is a potential for him, because the typical leadership like he has, I think what the Indonesians need to be strong. Why? Because we are a big country, we have a diversity, and for that one we need someone who have a strong control. It doesn't mean that I'm supporting for authoritarian. No, it's just different things. But he has to be able to control his administration, which is now he's starting to do that one. Even from the very first day, they were ready to do that. So what we're going to be the prospect? Yeah, it's positive in the sense, but there's some no's. Because we already have some fundamentals, which is whoever president, the positive gesture can be assumed. Because we have a market, huge market. Then 270 million is already, something, it's already inherent, that which is a potential for developing economics as well. And then also, as many quoted, related to demographic bonus, which is also young people. It's a market, but also a productive manpower that can be utilized. And then also we have natural resources, which is still something we can maximize. But also there are other areas, which is the coastal economics, which have not been exposed, which I think Korea have to be focused, maybe go to that one, because Korea has been developed a little bit more better than Indonesia and have more experience in coastal area, which is Indonesia is huge actually, right? So in that stance, then Indonesia have a potential under the new president. But if you question, for example, now, to be more specific, what is my concern if you also listening to his first speech, and then also his target in economy, 8%.
Very ambitious target.
Very ambitious target. That's well, to be honest, we have to be questionable. Of course, you may have ambitions, he may have a passion to do, but the reality, I don't think it's going to be easy. Why? We can just easily look into what the president probably for the last 10 years. He started his term in 2014 with 7%, but until he resigned, no single years they can achieve 7%. Yeah. only 5% in average. In that situation, even the first term, which is the best term of the President Jokowi, he could not reach that one. And then he used very maximize the loan and all other spending to boost the economy. He could not. But now, the current president, after 10 years, the loan have to be paid. So in that case, then, from fiscal side, it's limited for Prabowo to boost economy using the spending from the government. That's also one concern. So to be more precise, if we talk about relationship between Indonesia and Korea, the businessmen, the area that probably government, Korea and Indonesia, and also the businessmen, I think, as you already pointed out, the first issue that the government want to focus on in a couple of years is internal, because this is serious. And then what he pointed out on the first day, he said, it's about how to eradicate poverty.
Okay.
Yeah, poverty is an issue.
Poverty. Really,
and the gap between region. If they don't handle it, no matter we cannot go out. If these domestic issues cannot be handled, poverty is very serious, and particularly related to the gap between region. Yeah. Somebody says that 10% of Indonesians then they accumulate 70% out there. So that's a serious issue. So I think he should work on that. I think that's a good point. And then in terms of the policy, economic policy, we don't know yet now, but we can assume with the economic teams, almost the same person, the Minister of Finance still, and then the coordinator of those. Sri Mulyani, the senior minister also, still there. So.
General Luhut.
General Luhut, so those
Remain.
remain. So nothing much different, I guess, at least for the last 2 years.
Okay, thank you very much for your kind explanation. But the political culture
Yes.
and political environment of Indonesia and Korea quite different. So
Yeah.
not easy to understand what's going on in Indonesia, particularly the big cabinet.
Yes, yes.
And actually, about 7 different political parties joined the Prabowo's administration.
Yes,
So
yes,
big coalition government. Korea rarely experienced in recent history.
Yeah.
So we need some study to correctly understand what's going on in Indonesia.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Yes, yes.
And at the inauguration ceremony, which was held last Sunday, the Korea's Prime Minister
Yes.
they attended to convey congratulations to
Yeah.
President Prabowo as well as people of Indonesia. And he held a one-on-one meeting with President Prabowo and discussed on the cooperation between the 2 countries. And it was reported that there were 3 areas of cooperation stressed: the electric vehicle and infrastructure, and defense industries. So I think there are many other areas. So how do you see the future business and economic cooperation between the 2 countries from your long the experiences in business sector? What are the hurdles or what suggestions can you do to facilitate cooperation?
Yes.
In a broad,
Yes, yes. I think 3 points. The area where Korea, also from the previous administration, they are dealing with the electric vehicle because LG already, Hyundai already there, and then the infrastructure with all those many
power plants,
also. I think they have been there, and defense probably a new issues where Korea
very hot issue.
The cooperation also didn't work very much well.
Strategic area.
Right. But I think Korea has been proven these days that defense industry is growing.
Yeah.
Well, many other countries also interested in the product of military.
Eastern Europe.
And all those things. Then, but we have to recall that Indonesian traditionally they tend to focus on Europe or the United States in terms of the military equipment. Never been to Asia. So Asia is something new.
Korea is the first.
Korea is the first.
Yes.
So it is normal. Then in that area, I think the government need to work how to convince the president, because the president who made the decision which direction, particularly the product of this one. So, but if you ask other area, well, it should be a few of the businessmen. Businessmen know which one actually, which one is generating profit, right? And now many Korean. When I was working in Indonesia, Korean was very much interested with coal, for example. I had an experience in 2008, for instance. I worked in that was where the coal industry. Yeah. The price goes up $100 per ton, from maybe 35 or something like that. And then many Koreans were just rush doing this one, but many people were cry, fail for that one. Just to illustrate that, to give attention that Korea tends to be like pali-pali in terms of doing business with the.
But in Indonesia, pelan-pelan.
So when they're pali-pali, they sometimes forget they are not aware there are some dangers, and because they already, this is something, they're already excited. And then it brings to the failure. So of course, in business they always say the first thing you have to find the good partner, But of course, it's not easy. We can say that one. So, what we can do as a professional, find a second opinion whenever you work with others partner. Like say, that's the role of a professional who help to work together. So of course, when you are interested with some product, you're forgetting, I want to do this, and then you are not aware of the dangers. So need from a more like neutral view to help you to give perspective. You get to be aware with this one, you have to be aware with one, you have to be noticed this one, to minimize the risk. And that's the role of our function as a professional. And this is what happened in my job also. We do that. We do some retainer, for example. Some business, from the beginning, we can work together. So, of course, easily for me to see the big picture, what's going on, and then the gesture, how, Indonesian, because they say, yes, we can see that they will not do that. But Korean ignore that one. He said, he do that, but, that's not going to be work. The kind of thing, function that we can do.
It's very important to find a good partner to work together, but from my experience as well, it's not easy to find a good partner.
Yeah.
And of course, what is the best way to make an investment in Indonesia? The direct investment or joint venture? It's a quite big question.
Yeah, it's difficult.
It depends on the sector of corporate.
If you have a good partner, it's better to get a joint venture. But if not, then you had better to do it yourself. And you need the help from professional who can give you view. As I say, the best one is find the good partner. But even you could not get a good partner, please find help from professional, where help you to give at least a second opinion. You need to consider before make a final decision, because as a professional, we can see from a different angle, which is sometimes when you are getting very close, you cannot see the dangers. So that could be a help. And then, as you question that whether it's good to direct investment. Yeah, in Indonesia, there is no other option. You have to go direct investment, either partnership or you establish your own, because the company have to go direct investment.
Well, for more specific aspects of business deal, my colleague.
Yes.
So I'd like to ask you one sensitive issue: defense cooperation.
Yeah.
Personally, I was very happy and privileged to have the defense the deal of T-50 supersonic trainer as well as submarine in 2013 and 2014. It was the first case of Korean export of advanced weapon system abroad. So Indonesia was the first partner of the advanced the weapon system of the supersonic trainer as well as submarine. And now we are working on the next generation, the fighter jet program. In Korea we call it F-21 program. And the cooperation is on stalemate right now. And it could be a quite sensitive issue in Korea-Indonesia partnership, even during the Bravo administration. So it's a quite sensitive area. So it's quite difficult to make a comment officially.
Yes.
I'd like to ask you your personal opinion or personal impression. The cooperation in the field of advanced weapon is very important to both sides.
Yes.
And I imagined you might have your own concern or worries about this cooperative project. What is the impression or worries, if you have any, in Indonesia side? So I'd like to ask you your personal impression.
Yes. Well, military industry, generally not many common people, getting into.
It's confidential.
Because confidential, thing. Suddenly, we will buy this here and we will buy it here. That's the government decision and very high top decision maker. And then for Indonesian in general, let's say, as a common people, we don't really much distinguish because we don't know. But what we generally know is American product is top in terms of military, superior. So in the middle, because America and Korea are close enough, so people can associate the technology between America and Korea. If you can elaborate that one, that could be acceptable. Meaning that, well, the knowledge between the technology...
We call it interoperability.
Yeah.
Professional terminology.
Okay, yeah, I think that way it's more like how to convince, right?
Yeah.
Because I believe the technology in Korea also is quite high. So in terms of technology, I don't think an issue, but the decision-making process internally, it's really complicated. In Indonesia, I think in most of the country too, because there
are many stakeholders.
But they want an internal, and then that's an issue. That's an issue, in my view. So I personally, I know Korea, and then how we feel. Korea, for example, like the Japan industry is also developed well. So there shouldn't be an issue if we are working together, but the decision process making is really complicated in terms of defense.
Well, the new President Prabowo, when he was defense minister, participated in the launching ceremony of the first the F-21 jet fighters.
Yes,
so I hope we'll find the very mutually agreeable solution on this particular program, and which will be a big boost for our partnership in the future.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So I think you know well that the one who makes a decision is him. Whenever he says yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Bariga. And
no problem, Ambassador Kim. Thank you very much.
To another topic, which is most important to a businessman.
Okay.
Let me introduce